Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again for some more deck techs this week. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, or in the other order, subscribe first, then like, because then you get a chance to dislike if you don't like what I'm talking about. But, make sure you hit the subscribe button anyway. This week's video is slightly different this week. Last week's videos were all about decks I'm building in real life and I've put on MTGO and I've started playing. This week it's a few decks that have inspired me in recent games. I've played some casual games recently, and a couple of the decks that came up are things I haven't covered, things I hadn't thought about, and in one case, something I didn't even realise was available on MTGO. But we'll get to that one. That will be later on in the week. But today's one is something that's a little bit unusual. Well, one of the colours is fairly usual, but the other two, depending how long you've been playing, depends if you remember when these cards came out. Anyway, it's kind of a theme deck. I'll go with that bit, but it's going to be a bit of fun. So, without further ado, here is today's deck tech. It's Varina, Lich Queen, 1 white, blue and black for a 4/4 legendary zombie wizard. And whenever you attack with one or more zombies, you may draw that many cards, then discard that many cards, and you gain that much life. Okay, that's reasonable. And then you get to pay 2 and exile 2 cards from your graveyard, and you get to get a 2/2 black zombie token that comes into play tapped. Okay, so we've basically got a zombie wizard that helps us gain life and win the game, sort of. So, how are we going to play this? Well, when it was played against me a while back, the person decided not to really go down the zombie route. They went down the shapeshifter route, but I've decided to go more traditional and do it more around zombies. So, this is what the deck looks like. Ta-da! Right, anyway. So, to start off, we'll go through what I usually do. We'll go through the usual selection of lands. We've got the usual selection of blue, white, black lands. But I want to point out one thing that's usually different in this deck is there's a lot of snow lands in this deck. There's one of each of the dual lands from Kaldheim, along with the basics being snow-covered islands, plains and swamps. So, why have I done this? Well, there's a card coming up that really does need snow mana, and it's going to be I think it's quite important in this deck to make sure we have it there. So, hence why I've gone with this one. But the rest of the ramp, which I'll talk about quickly, Soul Ring, Signet, Diamond, Stone, Diamond, Mindstone, Sky Diamond, and Replicating Ring. Again, it's snow mana, hence why it's here. But that's the ramp. It's not that heavy. Most of the stuff for zombies when I was building the deck was sort of like 1, 2, and 3 mana. We've got quite a bit in the 5 slot, so that's why we've got a little bit heavier on the ramp. But this is not too bad a deck to put together in real life. It's not an expensive. There's not any expensive cards in it, really. Okay, my one's a little bit different in here because I'll just go down. I have put my scrub land in, so you can take the scrub land out and just play another snow-covered plains if you need to. I'm just playing the scrub land, so I've got one. But if you ignore that, the price isn't that terrible. But what we're doing with it, so we want zombies. We're going to be playing zombies, we're going to be drawing cards, we're going to be gaining life. We've got to be a bit careful that we don't deck ourselves, but we've got a couple of cards that help us get around that. So, for the cards itself, a bit of targeted removable path to exile. Sacred Cat. It's not a zombie to start with, but when you embalm it, it comes back as a zombie, which I find fairly useful. We've got a couple of other embalmed creatures as well, as I'm sure you can imagine. Ashnod's in, so we can exile creature cards and get a 3/3 colourless zombie artifact creature token. Champion of the Parish to make it bigger when zombies come in. Festering Goblin for a little bit of early removal and to ping those annoying elves and birds of paradise. Same with Shambling Goblin, same plan. Both goblins, both the same thing, different types. Elixir of Immortality is here, just so we can make sure that we get everything that's in our graveyard shuffled back into our library at a regular basis if we can find it. But one of the key cards in this deck is Library of Lang. Firstly, make sure you haven't got to have maximum hand size, which is lovely. But when you're forced to discard, you can put it on top of your library instead of into your graveyard. Now, obviously, we're being forced to discard with Varina. Now, obviously, what we can do is keep the cards we want for that turn, put the rest back on top of our library when we attack with the zombies. But it works quite nicely. Okay, yeah, it does stagnate what's going on top of your library. I'm not going to argue that at all. But at the end of the day, we don't want to be discarding too many cards. We want to be getting those zombies out and beating down with them. Hence why it's here. Anointed Priest. When a creature token is battlefield, most of the zombies we have in the deck are tokens. So, gaining a little bit of life and the embalm size is really cool. True Heart Disciple Duelist is in, basically because it does embalm. And it does block 2 creatures each combat, so it's quite a good bit of defense at the start of the game. Jadar's in from the, was it in a Midnight Hunt? Sorry, I've been listening to podcasts this week and I got confused. Obviously, decay zombies aren't that great, but they're still zombies, so they still count. Tainted Adversaries in, which I thought was quite good fun. Pay the extra mana. You want to play it later in the game where you can actually pay the extra 3 as many times as you can and get that many zombies with decay, which is fine by me. Zombie Infestation, because we can discard, if we've got basically Library of Lang in play and Zombie Infestation, you can just discard your hand, get a whole load of blockers quite early in the game. Dam's in for a bit of either targeted removal or let's wipe the board with the Overload. Withered Wretch, just to make sure we can exile things from other people's graveyards that might be annoying us. Corpse Knight, whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life. It's another way of getting around. Hopefully we're producing lots of zombies. This will trigger regularly. Over to the 3s. Digraph Colossus comes into play with a +1/+1 on it for each zombie in your graveyard, and when you get cast a zombie spell, you get another 2/2 zombie. Flesh Bag to make people sacrifice stuff. Liliana's Devotee, just to pump the zombies up that we've got. And then at the end of your end step, if a creature died this turn, you can pay the extra mana and get another zombie, which is fine by. Lord of the Accursed pumps our zombies and can give them menace. Midnight Reaper, whenever a non-token creature you control dies, you take a point of damage and get a card draw. I put it in because it's a 3/2 zombie for 3, and it gets a lot of pumping, so it gets some damage in. I'm not sure if it should be in the deck or not, but we're going to try it out and see when we play it in the stream later in the week. Cemetery Rita, pump zombies up again, and then create more tokens. Death Baron, everything gets +1/+1 and Death Touch, thank you very much. That's really nice. All those zombie tokens, even the ones with decay, then become big threats for the creatures that may block them. Yeah, right, Liliana's in. Shoot me, there's a few Lilianas. Like this one, Last Hope's in as well. Mainly because we want to try and get up this one up to the -7 to get the emblem, so we get the zombie tokens. That's what we're aiming for. Lord of the Undead helps pump our zombies again, and we get to return a zombie card from our graveyard to our hands. This one's a little bit more key than some of the other lords, but Digraph Captain's quite nice. He's got Death Touch itself, and whenever another zombie you control dies, you get to drain some more life. So, Corpse Knight, Digraph Captain, thank you very much. It's a bit painful for our opponents. Gleaming Overseer makes life complicated by giving all our zombies hexproof and menace. So, the tokens anyway. And that's why we have Anointed Procession in the deck, because at the end of the day, if we're going to make all these zombie tokens, we might as well have some fun and get Anointed Procession in and double up the amount of tokens we're making. Wrath of God to control the board. Aven Initiate, because I wanted an embalm threat that came in the air. No other reason for it. It's quite a fun zombie, I think, just for me. Gravedigger, return a zombie card. You got to have the traditional Gravedigger in your card. If you're playing a zombie deck, you can't not have Gravedigger. Please make sure you always have a Gravedigger if you're playing zombies, please. But yeah, this just comes in and returns one from your card. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So, helps us get anything back that's been killed. Damnation again, wipe the board out, a bit like Wrath of God. Endless Ranks of the Dead, to get all those zombie tokens where X is half the number of zombies you control rounded down. Yep, okay, we'll just keep making zombies. And with Anointed Procession, we get a lot of zombies very quickly. Liliana Untouched by Death Sin as well. Hopefully we'll mill cards away, and with the +1 ability, one zombie gets milled and each opponent loses 2 and we gain 2, that's fine. And the -2 is quite useful. The -3, maybe if we're late in the game we play this, we need to get our zombies back out, it could be good. Aven Wind Guide's in purely because it gives all our zombies flying and vigilance, which is a bit of a weird thing, but hey, that's why Varina's here. We might as well have the embalm stuff going along. God Eternal Ketra makes big zombies. Glyph Keeper again embalms, and it becomes a target spell, you get to counter it, so sticks around for a couple of turns with a bit of luck. Elvish Dreadlord, just so we can basically give everything -3/-3 until the end of turn. Yes, we probably will kill our zombies off, but hey, that's the way it goes if we need to wipe the board. It's another little board wipe, basically. God Eternal Bontu's in as well, just to get some more card draw. Grey Merchant of Asphalt, we've got a lot of black permanents. Why would I not play this, especially since it's a zombie? Yeah, drain everyone out. Let's get some life on the go. Liliana's Death Majesty is what I expect you're all expecting to see. +1 to create a zombie and mill a couple of cards, and then -7 destroy all non-zombie creatures. Thank you. Liana's Mastery pumps them all up, and we get a couple of zombie tokens when we play this. Obnixus of the Black Loath. I know this is one of the deck techs I did last week, but I've chucked it in here because at the end of the day, it's a nice little way to gain a little bit of life if we need to. And if we can do the whole -8 and get the emblem, it does help us draw the cards we need in the deck, hence why it's here. Open the Graves, just to give small zombie tokens. Sidisi, just to go and find something. We can exploit a zombie token when we play it, and go and find a card we really, really do need. Narth, Betrayer King is the reason we have all the snowlands in the deck. +1/+1 for all the zombies we control. And then we can pay 3 at any turn and return it from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Notice this at any time, so it can actually be kind of a little combat trick. You can do it at instant speed to kill someone off if it's in your graveyard and they haven't really registered it. But it is the 3 snow mana, hence Replicating Ring, Floodplains, all the snowlands in here. And it doesn't really, it doesn't affect us playing all the snowlands, so I might as well go in for this card. And then the Scarab God's in, just so we can do the lose X life and scry X for X the number of the zombies we've got. Hopefully we'll be, at the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses X life and you scry X for X's number of zombies. Yeah, it's another really win condition for this, with the amount of zombies we should hopefully be creating. Obviously, I had to chuck in Rooftop Storm, just so we don't have to pay any mana for our zombie spells, because I thought that was a cunning plan from my point of view. And then we've got a couple of big ones. Geth, Lord of the Vault at the end here. Intimidate can't be blocked except by artifact creatures and all other creatures that share a colour. And then you've got the whole mana sync ability to grab stuff out of your opponent's graveyards. That seemed like a good plan. And obviously, you've got to have the big zombie in. I believe Grave Titan has been errated now. But even if it hasn't, it's still a zombie that we can play. You get the zombie tokens, so, I thought that had been errated. I may be wrong. Gilmerg Angler, just because I've played it in Modern, I thought it might have a bit of fun and have it in this deck. It could probably come straight out for another land if we need to. Grave Betrayal's in. Whenever a creature you control dies, return to the battlefield with +1/+1 counter on it. And you get to call it a zombie. So, makes all our little tokens, makes all our little things really big. And then Emergency Powers, yes, Emergency Powers is a one-shot. It's not quite as good as Elixir of Immortality, because the Elixir of Immortality cycles itself back into the library. But Emergency Powers does that thing where you play it in your main phase, and you get to put something into play that's 7 or more. Yeah, we've got a couple of things, Grave Trail could come in, Grave Titan, Geth, any of these, and you could always find something to play. So, let's do it that way. But anyway, that's my take on Varina that was played against me the other week on the stream. Well, not on the stream, actually, when I was playing for my own pleasure one evening. I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, yes, it's come up, and it is, something that's been around for a while. I know it's just been reprinted in Double Masters 2, which is why I've got this version of it. But at the end of the day, I haven't seen much about Varina anywhere on the YouTube, so hopefully you've enjoyed this deck tech. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. I'll be playing it on stream tomorrow night. This should be up on a Monday, so I'll probably be playing it on the Tuesday. I hope you've enjoyed it. And come back later in the week, check out the rest of this week's videos. But, make sure you've hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Or, if you don't like it, hit the unlike button. But if you do hit the unlike button, please leave me a comment and tell me why you didn't like the video and what went wrong. And obviously, if you've got any comments to make about what cards you think I've missed out that should be in the deck, leave them down below as well. When I play the deck, I do sometimes go back and change the decks after I've played them and sort of like take in the cards that you guys have recommended. And you people have recommended. I shouldn't say guys, it's really bad of me. Sorry for everyone who may be watching this. All you people have recommended to me, I do change the decks, and then I do put a note in the description saying I've updated the deck tech. But anyway, thanks for watching the 14 minutes. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you on stream soon. Take care. See you later. Bye.